Hello, everybody. Welcome to a very special little one-shot here at Thousand Faces TTRPG, and go buff yourself. Let me take 1 second here to fix Lauren's camera. She's a little squishied for some reason here. So let me fix... Oh, that helps. She was just leaning really far forward. I mean, that'll do it. Okay, well, in that case, hi, everybody. Welcome to Thousand Faces TTRPG and Go Buff Yourself present a very special, never-before-seen one-shot called Troubled Dreams. Oh, Timmy, thank you so much for subscribing, buddy. We appreciate you so much. Thank you, everyone who is here in the stream, who is listening on Go Buff Yourself later. Wait, oh, Frank. I saw Frank. And as soon as I see that, I automatically think it's Timmy. Bruce, thank you for subbing. Thank you, everyone who is subbing. I appreciate you so much. I don't always know everybody's screen names, but I appreciate who you are.
It's okay.
But I am joined by 4 incredible players, and in order to show no preference, Lauren, you go last. So, first up, joining us, one of the creator or one of the creators, I don't even know if you had help in it, but the mastermind behind the cyberpunk system Identico, one of the players over on that channel, and overall awesome guy who you should totally get to design your stream layout, we have Mallo.
And thank you for all the subs. Thank you, Necrotier.
What a guy.
You're a special being, my friend. Thank you.
And next up, we have an incredible dice maker, cosplayer, and again, all-around incredible human being, Matty.
Hi, I'm just happy to be here. I need more D&D in my life, so every time I get a chance to play with these guys, I'm more than happy to be here.
She's not lying either, because in the last City of the Crimson Tower session, this woman played while sitting outside on the grass for 3 hours because she didn't have anywhere inside to play. Friggin' respect. Nerds. Next up, I'm gonna steal his line. He's a black guy on the internet. It's Mav.
But I'm also your favorite black guy on the internet.
That is also true.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. It's your boy Mav. I'm here playing dice games with these lovely people. And I got a dragon. I got an ADHD dragon that I can play with that you'll see that also bit me a few minutes ago. But it's okay. No one noticed until I told you. But yeah, we got dice, we got this, and I got you guys. And I got you guys at home chilling with us together. Because guess what? You're real, I'm real, and everything else is going to be okay.
And last, but certainly not least, Lauren.
Dice! I throw them! Hi. Hi guys. Happy to be here. Rolling some motherfucking dice! Okay, bye.
And I am Ethan. I'm going to be your GM for this evening. Before we jump in, just a few announcements. OBS, the system that we've been using to stream this, has been having some wonky issues sometimes. So if everyone else's but me, if their voice goes weird, just say so in the chat. It'll take me 8 seconds to fix it, so appreciate that ahead of time. Second of all, this is an 18+ stream for language, content, and legal out-of-character drug use, be that consumed in any legal fashion. And please clip your favorite moments. We appreciate it, especially me, because, as I've said before, I go into a bit of a fugue state when I DM, and I forget most of it. So watching back and listening back is hugely helpful to me. So, can anyone else think of any other announcements that we need to make before we jump in? Because I cannot.
That you're wonderful and awesome and great and kind and benevolent.
Oh, well, you can start with 1 extra luck point.
Fuck yeah, kiss an ass.
So that is just a reminder, everyone starts with 3 luck points. Those luck points, this is a house rule, those 3 luck points can be used to influence any d20 roll of yours at a 1-to-1 ratio, or any d20 roll of one of your friends at a 2-to-1 ratio. So everyone starts with 3, but Mav, for being a wonderful suck-up, starts with 4. And with that,
He says hi.
I think we should go ahead and jump into this one-shot which I have entitled Troubled Dreams. Let me get the ambiance ready for us, and then we will be jumping right in. There we go. It has been 5 years since the Forgotten Realms, since Faerun, dealt with the threat of the possible return of the dragon goddess Tiamat. Members of the Cult of the Dragon worked tirelessly to gather the 5 dragon masks necessary to return the Dragon Queen to this plane. And it was only because of the combined efforts of many forces, spearheaded by 7 particular heroes, that the Cult of the Dragon and Tiamat herself were defeated at the Well of Dragons, a battle now known as the Battle of the Well. But that was 5 years ago. And that was 7 entirely different adventurers from those that we see now as the camera pulls in through the window of a tavern. And I already have a question for a few of you, or for all of you, to help determine the direction of this narrative. What type of tavern are you in? Is this a clean, quiet tavern? Is this a seedy, brawl-filled tavern? Or is this a combination tavern and brothel? What type of place are you in?
I mean, I would always lean in tavern, brawl, restaurant, and hotel at the same time.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the roadside sort of stop place.
Very quick pause. Matty, could you possibly turn on push to talk, please?
Is there noises coming from my...
Yeah, just every time someone sends a Discord message, we hear it pop up. And I'm just trying to save me the headache of editing all of those out afterwards. So, with Matty doing that, quick rewind. I was too distracted. Mallo, you were saying?
I think we should at least be in a bar/brothel slash boba tea restaurant.
Can it also be a plant shop?
I mean, why not? Could be.
Yay!
Jim?
I don't know.
This place sounds perfect!
I'm looking at the DM.
I mean...
The gym? Is there a gym there? And a gift shop? Is there a gift shop?
What is this, Walt Disney World all of a sudden? Like, we're just touring Epcot?
all of this
Hey.
in one place. So yes, this combination of tavern, brothel, plant shop, and boba tea shop. Look, there are a number of owners of the Purple Palace, and they each had different opinions as to what the theme should be, so when they couldn't resolve their differences, they simply combined them all.
But it does look like one of those combination Taco Bell Pizza Huts from like the 80s.
Where it's like split, and you clearly see where the different
totally.
decor designs, absolutely. But the 4 of you right now are over on the tavern slash boba tea side of this establishment as the camera pulls in through the window and focuses on the first one of you. You all have just placed your order for drinks after a successful contract completion the previous day. And the mid-20s in appearance half-elf who had been taking your orders has just returned with your drinks. And so, first, Lauren, could you describe who we see the camera pull in on here?
So you see a stout halfling woman. Her skin is sunburnt and windswept. She's got red on her nose. Her ears are windburnt. She's got This messy brown mid-length hair pulled into a ponytail with a turquoise streak running through it. Looks like she did it herself. She's dressed in a rather nautical manner, as if she had just gotten off a port ship. She's got a shoulder pauldron with waves stamped into its leather exterior, as well as a long sleeve shirt cut off right at the midriff to keep her shoulders and arms free from the sun's kiss. And she's got a belt of bleached rope wrapped around her hips, holding on a rather special looking fabric that has turquoise waves stamped into it as well to match the pauldron. She's got green eyes and a gruff face. She's got her head down and her hands on either one of her hips. It looks like she's holding something, reaching for something. And if you catch her when she's walking in, you can see that there are 2 daggers at her side that she feels a need to reach for, but is holding her ground.
And what is your character's name?
Polly Punch It.
I love it and hate it so much I don't know which is winning.
A small friend in a seashell. There we go, baby!
And as we see Polly punch it here, I have a question once more for all of you to decide. What was the enemy, the creature, either a horde of them or a single one, that you all had to fight for your contract yesterday?
It was a horde.
Okay, a horde of...
Kobolds.
Kobolds.
Well, apparently it is absolutely a horde of kobolds with that kind of in unison speech. So,
They had purple scales.
given that
Or were they red?
fact, Polly, given that fact, the camera now flashes back to yesterday. And we see Polly engaged in combat with 6 or 7 kobolds. What do we see? How is Polly fighting off this particular group?
It's hard to keep track of her on the field. She moves very quickly and very low to the ground, almost scampering forward without even realizing that she's left the place that you last saw her. She's got 2 short swords out at her in her hands, blades facing out, and she is tearing into the legs of these kobolds and dragging them to the ground one by one by one, and scampering forward under legs, over shoulders, and laying that short sword into the body of anyone who crosses paths with her.
And we see this scene of Polly just decimating this group of kobolds. And then the camera cuts back to the present. And we see a drink set down in front of you, Polly. What is the drink that the half-elf server has brought you?
It is... she sets it down on the table, and it's in a clear glass, not a tankard, not a mug, but a clear glass that's slightly frosted on the edge. If you look at the very rim, you just see this slight haze come off of it. It is a golden color. You can still see through it. She sits down a very crisp and cool cider.
And the camera then moves to the next individual around this circular wooden table. Matty, who does the camera focus on next?
It focuses on an elf who looks to be maybe 40, 45 in human years. So she's a fairly old elf. She's got incredibly long, curly red hair, or more along the line of wavy red hair that goes over her shoulders, past her waist. She has a beautiful little crown of daisies, and she's wearing a very simple, crocheted-looking dress. And every inch of her skin is completely covered in freckles.
And again, the camera, after coming to focus on you, cuts back to the scene from the previous day. So what do we see from you during this fight with a horde of kobolds?
You see Daisy May is sitting pretty far back from the actual combat. She's sitting cross-legged in the grass. There are tears flowing down her cheeks, and she's holding what looks to be a very natural-looking lute. So, like, it looks almost as if she made it herself.
Voice.
Good shout. Let me fix it. And then we will restart that description.
Just pause myself.
Hold on. And could you say that again for us, Matty?
So Daisy May is sitting a little bit further back from the combat, cross-legged in the grass. There's obvious tears running down her face, and she's holding what looks to be maybe a lute or something. And she's just strumming the lute, trying to encourage her friends around her to the best of her abilities, trying to calm the combat down, possibly talk it out a little bit more rather than the violence. And every time Polly takes one down, she just sheds another tear for the loss of life.
And as we watch this tear fall down this elf's face, we cut back to the present with a drink set down in front of Daisy May. What is it?
It is just a large mug full of steaming hot water, and when it's placed in front of her, she pulls out a variety of different herbs and teas from her pocket, and she's just going to just dump them into the cup without like a strainer or anything, and just stir it haphazardly.
The camera again takes a little turn around this circle. Mav, could you please describe your character that we now see?
You see a dark green, half-orc female. She is in a kimono, but it is styled for battle, meaning she has samurai greaves on her feet with her pants tucked into it. She has greaves or vambraces on her arms tucked into it with a breastplate that goes in between. So she has everything underneath it, and it's there to protect that. She has one of the field hats as on, and this wonderful, beautiful katana that has been placed still on her hip. The case, the scabbard is bright red, and at the end of it has 2 charms dangling on it. Her robes are red and black with a flowery pattern on it. On her back is a symbol of what?
Please continue. I'm shaking my head at something else.
It is a 4 diamond pattern, each one having a purple lotus flower in each one of them. And her left eye is purple, while her right eye is green. But you can still see that it moves like a normal eye. And yeah, she also has a right earring on her left ear.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the camera cuts to the previous day. And what do we see from you?
You see as this orc walks in amongst all the people running from the kobolds as a group of kobolds are chasing these villagers coming towards. All she does is walk by them, make a motion to her hand, and keep walking as like the kobolds are like, why didn't you stop? Until they all fall.
Awesome. And we just watch as they all fall over simultaneously. Very anime fashion. And as we return again to the Purple Palace, what drink is set in front of you?
It is a very small cup, about yay big, set with 2 bottles about yay big, with a very special symbol on them, and it is sake.
Love it.
Hmm?
And finally, the camera focuses on the 4th and final member of this crew. Who do we see, Mallo? Oh, one moment. Did we get your character's name, Mav?
No. My name is Koron Rokishi, of Clan Rokishi.
And so now, the final member of our crew?
It pans over and you see Virginia Doubtfire, dear. I'm a world-wise and grandmotherly owlin with snow white and grey feathers. She's wearing a red plaid skirt with a white button-down shirt with a silver brooch clasp and a pink cardigan neatly buttoned just at the top. She also has large gold glasses that she uses to kind of look over and see folks, and then she kind of does one of these things to look down and read the menu and her spell book at the same time.
I'm freaking dying, and I am so excited to ask this question. And that is, as the camera once again cuts back to the previous evening, what do we see from your character?
Miss Doubtfire is holding position in our fight, and as one of the kobolds comes and runs at her, with just a little flick of the wrist, it just starts to float up in the air into a bubble and just stay there. As another one comes at her, and she just kind of taps it gently with her staff, as a translucent missile just sends it flying across outside of the camera's view. And as she rocks by, she just hits a little pop to the bubble, and he just calls and falls flat on his face.
And as the camera returns to the present, what do we see set in front of your character?
Oh, it's an old school gin and tonic, of course.
Classic, and it's got a little bit of... There's a little bit of flair that the bartender here, mixologist might be a bit grandiose, has put into the garnish. It's a nice spiral lime garnish set in front of you. As the half-elf sets this down and looks at all of you. Right, was there anything else you need? No, are you all good?
We're good.
All good? Alright. Hollow if you need anything. Makes their way off. And so we see the 4 of you now gathered in this tavern half of this establishment. All drinks in front of you, victorious from the previous day's adventures.
Why is it always kobolds?
I still think we could have talked through it. You didn't have to chop his head off to begin the conversation. You know, I've been trying to explain this to all of you, that our words are more powerful than violence. And we could have done this so much better.
Polly just crosses her arms. Well, you knew it was going to end up the way it did anyway, so why not get to the point? I think it's a good idea.
And quick question, because I may have missed it. Mallo, did we get your character's name? Okay.
Euphigenia Doubtfire, dear.
Yep, just wanted to make sure that landed. Just wanted to make sure that I heard that fully clearly and didn't enter some drug-addled hallucination. As this conversation between these four badass women is happening, a young-looking human, probably around 13 or 14, pushes their way into this tavern, and immediately there are several people who turn their heads, and he gives just a little and points towards the notice board, indicating his intention so no one questions why he's in here, holding a small hammer, nails, and several pieces of parchment under his arm. Gets just a nod from the bartender and then walks over to the notice board and it very quickly hustles out. What's everyone's passive perception?
14.
12.
15.
Please hold. I made this character like half an hour ago.
We love that for you.
Well, that's fine. For right now, Polly, you are the first one to notice. The notice board is not on the opposite side of the room, but it's a good 30, 40 feet. Reading specific details on a small piece of parchment, usually a little difficult at this distance. But what isn't difficult to make out is the very large print of the reward at the bottom. And though you can't tell what the first number is, you can tell that's a lot of zeros.
Polly, as she takes this in, is going to take a big swig of her drink and sit it down. Oh, eyes up. A big payout.
You do know, Polly, that money really isn't everything, right?
Do you like steak? Food?
No.
Do you like drinking tea? Having a bed to sleep in?
I gather everything I need from nature. And as far as beds go, you don't need a bed in caravan life, you know?
Darling, I like stuff. We all like stuff. Do you
I
like
do
stuff?
too. I
You
love
like
stuff.
stuff?
What happens if your instrument breaks?
She's broken many times before, and nature always gives me what I need to fix her. It's really not a big deal.
You are the purest thing in this world. That's why I'd do anything for you.
Oh, I know you would, darling. Do you want me to get the notice for you?
Yeah, I'm not walking. Takes me
Okay.
longer to get there.
She's just going to get up and just meander her way. She never walks in a straight line, so she cut around a couple tables and everything. And she's going to meander her way to the notice board and just grab it without even reading it and meander her way back.
Making your way past arm wrestling matches and dicing and drinking contests, people already passed out, people sharpening blades, people with multiple individuals dressed in silks sitting on their laps, people with drinks and boba tea, and checking the quality of life of their newly bought plant. It is an eclectic place.
Why don't they sell t-shirts here?
Oh,
Yeah,
they do.
there's one that
It's just a long sleeve classic shirt that has the word T on it, TEA. So it's a t-shirt.
I'll have to get one of those.
This one that says fun guy on it and has a picture of a mushroom.
You own that shirt.
I love it so much. It needs to be everywhere.
Of course, she bought the shirt here. What do you think she got it from?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Educate yourself.
Art
DM.
reflects reality. Well, as you make your way back to the table and set the notice on there, yeah, that's a lot of zeros. The reward, I think all of your eyes being adventurers, they go there first to determine whether reading the rest is even necessary. 50,000 gold reward upon completion. That is enough to set you up for quite a long time in quite good lifestyle. And the rest of the notice reads, fighters, adventurers, brave souls needed for matter of citywide importance. See Murray Mephisto at Rayona's Revel. All of you know, Rayona's Revel is a very, very nice tavern in Waterdeep.
Well, Auntie Yuffie, what do you think, Auntie?
I haven't been there since the old days. We should go back. Met a quite nice orc there one time. He's cunning lad, actually. Yeah. Yeah.
What was his name? Or it was just a good time that you don't remember.
Come to think of it, I don't remember his name.
Was Roderick, because I had a really nice orc there too at one point. It was a while ago, but he was quite sweet. Was it Roderick? I know it's a big town.
Oh,
Roderick,
okay.
Roger, they all kind of, they all just...
They do blend over the years, don't they?
Yes, yeah.
Wonder how he's doing. It was near 100 years ago. He's probably dead. Shall we go to Waterdeep then?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, let's go.
You all, the tavern that you are at is in the dockside section of Waterdeep. Not quite the intersection Waterdeep proper, but you leave the Purple Palace, make your way past the docks where it is currently only about 2:30, so there are individuals out here, fishmongers hawking the day's catches. It is full of the smells of stale ale and fresh and slightly less fresh seafood and humans and animals and seawater and brine, all mixing together in this unmistakable bouquet of the dockside ward of Waterdeep. Holly.
The moment we hit this dock area, this fishmonger area, Polly is going to lock arms with Mav. What was your character's name?
Corone.
Corone. Is going to lock arms with Corone and just stop and take a big, deep breath. I really do like it, as they're walking along.
I actually miss being on the ship.
Yeah. Don't you?
I do. I really do.
After this pal, we can get our own ship.
She's gonna look at you with now, mind you, Corone is about 5'8". Looks down at you with the biggest puppy dog eyes. It's like, could we really?
Oh yeah, with that much, at least a small one. Maybe a little guy, just the two of us. Some fish.
Honestly, I think about life after all of this is over and whatnot, and yes, of course, serving the Emperor and whatnot, but it's just more of, I know, it's what the job entails with my life, but just seeing what I want to do after. Life after adventuring, when I hang up my blade and live my life like a normal person.
And Polly's going to gesture with her other hand to our two friends walking ahead of us. Well, we've learned anything in our time with them, it's that he sees it when he gets there. It'll hit you like a ton of bricks.
You mean like when that giant kicked me into the wall?
Better.
I almost died that day.
I'm gonna trail off in conversation.
All right. make your way through the dock ward and towards the nicer sections of Waterdeep, where you all know you will find Rayona's Revel. When you arrive at Rayona's Revel, it is a 3-story building. Beautifully built, the architecture, a wonderful combination between the modern aesthetic and the classical style of Waterdeep at its initial founding, showing respects to the tradition but showing the new flair of the current architectural zeitgeist. And as you make your way inside, I change the music. There we go. The inside of Rayona's Revel, you walk in, straight ahead of you, there is a maitre d' station. There's a gnome standing behind the lectern, and over to the right is where the tavern really opens up. The first story here is one huge, long bar that seems to have been built from a singular tree. And given that the bar itself is about 130 feet long, it was an expensive piece to bring from somewhere. There are 4 mixologists, and now that term is needed, working behind the bar. The displays and shows that they are putting on is extreme. It's a combination between natural dexterity and magic, as shakers are flipped and small amounts of levitation magic are used to make it spin in the air 20 times before coming down, and it is poured with just subtle uses of prestidigitation to infuse the cocktail as it pours into the glass with light and sparkle. It is a spectacle here on this floor, but this first floor clearly devoted to the fine art of drinking. But the central courtyard of this bar is open above, and you can see the 2nd and 3rd story railings as well that are all built around this central lower space. And even from here, you can see that the 2nd story seems to be entirely devoted to gaming of some variety. And the 3rd story, you can't see much because it's blocked off with delicate and beautifully hung silks and drapes. There's just the slightest scent of perfume that wafts down from above. But as you step in, the first individual to speak with you is the gnome standing behind the maitre d' station. Glorious mustaches, numerous of them, all curled to absolute perfection. Welcome to Rayona's Revel. My name is Jerome. How may I assist you today?
Hello, Jerome. We're here for this.
Oh, Mr. Mephisto's missive. Wonderful. Yes, I will go let him know that someone has come a-nibbling. In the meantime, I am sure that Mr. Mephisto would wish that I extend to you all the welcome of the house. Each one of you, please, consider yourselves 50 credits, 50 gold as credit on the house, conditional upon the fact that you do accept Mr. Mephisto's job. Should you reject it, the bill will come due, but otherwise, please make yourselves at home, be guests of Rayona's Revel. I will return shortly.
Hops off the stool that he was behind and little steps away into a back door, shink, which closes, and you all are left here on the first story, the stairwell leading up, just visible over a couple dozen feet away.
I
Well, I'm
wonder
not
if they
one.
have any half-orcs. And she's gonna go towards the stairwell.
Daisy May starts
Well,
to head upstairs.
I never look at time to get a drink, so we'll cozy up to the bar and make sure I can get one from these mixologists that are there.
Got it. Euphigenia starts heading towards the bar. What about Polly and Curon?
Corona.
Curon. Excuse me. Curon.
Like Corona Lights.
Yeah, like the beer without the
Correct.
or the virus.
Correct. Yes. Yes.
So-
Well,
Sorry.
what would you like to do? Dealer's choice. All right, games it is then. Let's go. Picks up and runs up the steps.
That's the energy I'm looking for.
I just want to play games. I love games.
Seize the moment.
So we watch 3 of the members start to head towards the stairs and 1 to the bar. So we will take this floor by floor really quick. Euphigenia, the bar here, beautifully polished, ornate, is not... It is a large bar, so it is not entirely packed at this time of day, but well-peopled nonetheless. Do you just sidle up to order a drink, or do you take a stool?
Is there any fancy man there?
Fancy man, working or drinking?
Drinking.
Absolutely there is. The majority of people here, people come here to Rayona's Revel for one of 2 reasons. Sometimes those are combined. For fun, yes, but also to be seen. So the people who come here tend to make sure that if they are going to be seen, there is something to see. And so there is a dragonborn gentleman, Silver, in this glorious, like, white suit, which is set off by the silver scales that just sets him gleaming. There is a dwarf man, not dressed quite fancily.
Say no more. Dragonborn is my type. I like a man that can throw me around.
Damn,
So
woman.
she'll saddle up and just look over towards him and just kind of cock her just so slightly as owls do, and just kind of look at it and go, yeah. And then she'll look over without him even saying, well, gin and tonic for me, and whatever he's having right there.
I want to I guess persuasion or performance. Any skill you can think of that would be relevant, but make it with advantage.
Man, just whip the titties out. They ain't gonna do shit. Or apropos, whip your hooters out. It'll be fine.
14.
14?
With 14, yeah.
As you do this, and he gives a a gin and tonic for me as well, then.
Yes, you are a man. You're a man of class, I see.
Oh, for a second there, I thought you were going to say I was a man after your own heart, and I thought you were on to me.
Oh, it's not always my heart that you might want, my dear.
The briefest flick of a reptilian tongue. What now? And the camera
The beak
fades.
shatters just slightly.
And the camera fades to the stairs where we see the three walking up. We see Daisy May continue upstairs, and the other two head over to the gaming section. My friends, any game of chance or skill that you can think of that can be played in a 6x6 area is available here. Cards,
Skee-ball.
dice, chess, checkers. Sure, skee ball. It's a tabletop version of it. But yes, it's kind of a fancified combination between skee ball and billiards, where there's a ramp and the ball is hit with something similar to a pool cue. So it is a elevated version of skee ball, but indeed skee ball. There are arm wrestling competitions here. There are trivia games, everything you can imagine that you could win or lose money on, either because of luck or skill, is here. Where would you all like to go? And what would you like to do?
You want to see if we can win money? Do you think we can do the thing where we hustle people out of money? Like, I just pretend that, oh, I'm so weak. I'm just a little lady, and I just take their money.
Are you wanting to do fuckery?
Yes,
This is the best day of my life.
I know.
Let's go. You lead. I'll follow.
All right.
To fuckery.
Oh, is anyone wanting to arm wrestle?
Do you just shout this?
Yes. I would like to arm wrestle anyone.
I just have
would
to
like
ask
to.
one more time because I think it's relevant.
Mhm.
What do you look like again?
I am a 5'8" green, half female, half orc.
How's your muscle
no,
mass?
No. Oh, it's you can't see it with the armor on. I have the kimono and the armor on, so it's a sleeper build.
Okay.
Can I hawk for my show here? Oi! A first time. Never done it before. Get in while it's fresh.
Yeah, I need you to make me a deception check with advantage. Yes, you, Corone.
Deceive?
– 17.
17. This is an interesting mechanical moment where there are advantages and disadvantages to succeeding. You absolutely manage to trick people into thinking that you are not anything noteworthy. And as a result, the person who stands up from where they were dicing, you hadn't really noticed, is wearing a Waterdavian equivalent of a very well-cut suit. And as you see this individual stand, it is just like a flag of black cloth how wide this individual is. And as his bald head with whitish gray skin comes up and turns around, this 6'9" Goliath. That sounds fun. All right. Yeah, this game just finished up. We'll use this. You, to one of the goblins who was there. You be ref. Come on over, my lady. I'll even give you... And he sits down, a chair pulled across on the opposite side from him, and tips his arm back a few angles, or a few degrees. I'll even give you a head start on me.
Well, that's so nice of you. Would you like to put money, or do people put money on this a lot of times?
Oh, I'd feel terrible taking that from you. How about
No.
I trade you... You buy me a drink if I win. I get to buy you a drink if I lose.
Crone looks over at Polly. Do you think that's a good bet?
Oh, you're not out much either way. Might as well give it a shot, though I think you should sign a waiver not to break your arm. You got it.
Yeah. Oh,
No,
okay.
you got it.
Oh,
Got it.
okay. Sure. Okay.
Okay. So, this is a straight contested strength check.
What you do see is when she grabs his hand, you see very well manicured nails. She doesn't do much for herself, but she keeps her nails nice.
The Goliath notices. You watch as he just looks at the nails a little bit and then just gives a little scoff to himself.
And I rub his hand with my other finger. Just
I'm going to have him roll at disadvantage because of that.
Distracted.
So what did you get?
so it's plus my strength, right?
Yep.
Strength.
Just your strength
So-
bonus.
Oh, okay. So 21.
21. Oh, it's so good you gave him disadvantage because his first roll was a nat 20, which would have been a 23. The second roll was a 17, which made it a dirty 20, which means that you crank his arm back. He has just a little bit of space left. Maybe I shouldn't have given you that start.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Me and my friend will take 2 drinks.
Oh, no,
please.
we're not done.
Oh, we're not done?
Oh, no, roll
okay.
again.
Okay, cool. $25.
Now, wait, how? What's your...
Nope. Hold on. Wrong dice. It hit the other D20. It hit the other one. My
No,
bad.
but what's your
Sorry.
strength score? Is
My strength is 19 plus 4. I did the math wrong. Don't worry
Okay.
about it.
I was like, how'd you get a 21?
I did the math wrong. Okay, so it is 19 on the die plus 4.
So 23. Now it's done. As
Yes,
you, kunk, the arm goes back. And with your insight, he plays this off, or attempts to play this off. What he says is partially play off and partially true, just with your passive insight. As he says, rubs or rolls his shoulder out a little bit. Oh, damn the 9 hells. Now I have to buy a lady a drink. Shall we?
And my
Hey.
friend.
And Polly's just gonna wink at you. Enjoy yourself, love. I'm gonna mosey back down the stairs and saddle up next to you, Fish and I.
Well, I think that is also where they were going to get a drink.
Oh,
So,
okay,
that
yeah,
is
cool,
perfect.
cool, cool.
The three of you start to head down the stairs, and the camera cuts to the final member of the crew, who was heading all the way up. You are greeted here by a individual in... The individual that you see standing in front of these silks and tapestries. First of all, as you get up here, before you even see them, you are hit with smells of clove and lavender and just the faintest hit of sweat. Still these smells coming from below, the smell of the fires and all of that, but the pungent aroma up here is intoxicating. And the individual you see in front of you is wearing silks of gold, a yellowish gold color, not currently draped to cover any unmentionable areas, because as of right now, there are no unmentionable areas. The individual that you see in front of you is humanoid with this pallid color skin, very few features, almost looks like they are made from a wax version of a human being. This is a changeling. And as you step up the stairs, Daisy May, what is the form that this individual takes, given the following knowledge? They are able to read your mind and know what form you would find alluring and comforting.
Okay. They take the form of a rather gentlemanly looking half-orc with his hair that is got a little bit of salt and pepper going on. It's cropped short. Basically, it's a form of Roderick because that's who she was kind of thinking of when she was walking up these stairs. So he's a pretty buff, pretty big, but very smart looking half-orc guy, a well-trimmed beard, salt and pepper hair, a very bright, toothy smile, and these green eyes that just kind of scan the room when you see him.
The individual, the half-orc, you now see standing in front of you. There is a full-length mirror on the wall near where they're standing, and you see as they turn to it and smile, and then look at you.
It would be our pleasure to accommodate. Please, follow me.
I would love to, and she'll just follow him.
He leads you past rooms and makeshift rooms. There are individuals smoking long stem pipes curled over one another, some just rubbing each other's shoulders and feet, others playing chess against one another while still wearing silks. All different types of companionship are available here, not simply the sexual variety. But you are led back and around, curving into a back area, and you stop at a door where the half-orc guiding you just gives a little knock, and from inside you hear,
Yes, come in.
and the half-orc opens the door just a crack for you and says,
I was informed that you were Mr. Mephisto's guest. The next hour, then, is on the house. Find me if you need anything further.
Thank you kindly. And she will give just a quick little nod with her head and enter the door.
The man that you see sitting in here is sitting at a desk near a fire, feet propped up on the desk, a heavy leather book resting on his bare chest, which is covered in coarse hair. This man looks closer to a 3/4 orc than a half-orc. Either the child of a half-orc and orc, or simply the orc parents' genes were quite strong. Very strong, sharp features, heavily muscled, though not so lean as to lose the comforting, huggable look, but also still bristling with muscle. And as you step through the door, do you look confident, nervous, trepidatious? What expression does this orc see on your face?
She doesn't look any of those emotions. She looks like she's probably done this 1,000 times. She looks like a woman who has lived her entire life with the motto love and peace, and this is the love side of it.
He looks over at you, lifts the book, sets it on the table, lets the front legs of the chair come down, stands up and stands at 6'6", and walks over to you, looks you in the eye, and just gives you the slightest stroke with an index finger under the chin.
Just tell me what you want.
And the camera fades. We cut back down to the first floor. Euphigenia, the silver dragonborn, has been quite happily chatting you up for the last only about 10 minutes or so until two of your companions descend from the second story. And so the two of you, Corone and Polly, see Euphigenia getting absolutely chatted up by a dapper-looking dragonborn. He has an empty glass in front of him. I'm not sure if Euphigenia's is empty after only 10 minutes, but his certainly is.
Polly, seeing that Euphigenia is getting it, and that his drink is empty, she's going to go jump up onto a stool. Hey, fill this glass for me, and is gonna shuffle over a couple silver.
They're one of the mixologists, a elven woman with incredibly done braids, comes over and scoops up the glass. Why don't you tell me what you want in it, and I'll get it made?
No, I'm drinking. Trying to do him a solid.
Oh, his. Wonderful. Yes. Oh, gin and tonic. Yeah. The most over-the-top display of mixing a gin and tonic. But by the time she is done, there is a permanent galaxy-like swirl of light inside the gin and tonic.
Kind of fucking pageantry. Wow. Oh, look at that.
Is Auntie Effie getting her Mac on again? Is she finding her groove back? Is she getting her groove back? Is Aunt Effie getting her groove back?
Yeah, honestly good for her. You know, I've been through the ringer.
Euphigenia, were you going to say something?
That's when, I said, fuck it.
Well, of
And
course,
so we did.
yes. Oh, that kind of fuck it. Oh, you do tell the best stories, Miss Doubtfire. It is Miss Doubtfire? Is there a Mr. Doubtfire I should know of?
Long ago, and I'm better for it these days. Old Reginald was a good man, but unfortunately doesn't live as long as us owls, and, Fair of a man, though.
I have to say that there was a part of me
Too
that
many
was like,
Guinness
he was killed by, it was the drink that killed him. But as you explain this, it is one of the troubles of falling in love with shorter-lived species, but we cannot control who we love, can we?
No, not at all. Yes.
Well, do you need another?
Oh, of course, darling. I can always go for another.
Is there well, actually, at about this time.
Begging your pardon, friends. I have conveyed your message,
And you see Jerome standing behind the three of you.
to Mr. Mephisto. He is simply ecstatic and extends an invitation for you to join him in his office upstairs. Weren't there four of you? Upstairs, gaming? I will go and retrieve her. It would be my pleasure. Give me a moment.
Gaming something.
Oh.
Yeah, take your time.
A muffalo.
Well, perhaps I will be over at my station whenever the four of you or three of you are ready to go and see Mr. Mephisto. Simply let me know. I will caution you that he typically only takes visitors during the daylight hours, so before too terribly long if you wish to speak with him today, but I will excuse myself.
While this is happening, Corone is explaining to this wonderful, very nice Goliath, who apparently has an inkling for her. She doesn't notice or understand why. she goes in and talking about the different types of swords and how sharpness and all this other stuff. She goes on a full ism rant about swords and fish and haikus and all this stuff.
So, for the purposes of the narrative, we cut forward just briefly in time to Daisy May coming down the stairs. And so I have a question for Daisy and a question for the rest of the group. First to Daisy. What does the group see knowing you as you come down the steps? How are you walking down?
I would describe it more along the lines of floating in a way. Her steps have a little bit more bounce to them than they once did before. And her eyes are very much bloodshot. She is partaken of the weeds quite a bit, so she's very high at this point. But she's got a bright smile on her face, and her hair is very tousled. The braids are all like kind of tangled in and everything, but she doesn't care. But so she just kind of comes down the stairs and makes her way immediately over to them. Hi, I hope you guys have had as good a time here as I.
And that brings me to my second question, and that is, what does Daisy May see from the three of you when she comes down? And Polly, I would like you to answer, given the knowledge that since the camera cut, a halfling and a goblin have been competing for your attention. So given that, Euphigenia, start us off. What state does Daisy May find you in?
She's got one hand on the Dragonborn's shoulder, and she's still, cocktail in hand, talking him up and everything like that. Does Daisy May come up to...
She is in the process of walking over. I'm just wanting to know what she sees as she steps over. And then we'll pick
I'll
up
hold
on...
the commentary. Cool. Yeah.
So we'll get right back to you. Corone? Are you still explaining?
I'm still explaining. I'm very happy to talk about swords and stuff with him.
And
he seems strong.
I just have to say, it's been half an hour. And this guy he doesn't know how to make an exit and very much wants to. Just because this is not going quite the direction he expected his evening to be. He's just started to, every now and then just, scoot a little bit more towards the exit and is just starting to do the single syllables. Wow. Yeah. Crazy. Just... There, I have some friends.
Cool. And I'm gonna go about this. Yep. And really, thank you for doing this. You're really, really cute, and I would like to actually talk more about it later and whatnot. We have the job to do, but I really appreciate you. Swords, butterflies, haikus again, and yeah. But if you have somewhere to go, I understand. Not a lot of people really want to talk to me a lot of times, so it's okay.
As the camera cuts away from you and the Goliath, we just see the Goliath mouth to himself. She thinks I'm cute. And Polly.
You said that there were two vying for attention.
Halfling and a goblin, who have been just putting on the most... it's just cliche and some occasionally boorish attempts at getting your attention. Everything from, look how much I can drink, here's how many of these I've killed, just notice me!
Polly is very clearly feeding into this. She's leaning up against a tall table's legs, and her arm is crossed, and she's got her cider in one hand. Oh yeah, it looks like he's wearing better boots, so I'd be better fed. What's your counter offer?
Him? You think his boots are better than mine? I stole those for him. If he's got better boots, it's because I did it.
Oh, that's true. You got a bigger belly, which means you probably feed me better. What's your counter offer?
So this is what you see, Daisy May, as you approach.
She's used to a lot of the antics of this group, and she's heard everything there is to hear about swords. So she's gonna go and sit next to Miss Doubtfire instead, as that's more along her speed. But she's not gonna like act like she knows her or anything. She's gonna give just a quick little nod and then take the stool on the other side of her.
You know, well, of course, love. Sink the sub, Hawk the porpoise, Little Jack Horny, Rumple Foreskin, Baloney Bop, a little bit of the old cunning linguistics, right? You know.
No?
I don't have a watch, sure. And then she'll look over and she'll see Daisy May, and she's like, "Ah, fucking tits."
And
Hold that thought, love.
And
I'll
right
be
then,
thinking about
as the embodiment of a cock block, Jerome scuttles back over.
Wonderful! We are all present. If you will please bring your drinks if you wish, but follow me upstairs so that I may lead you to Mr. Mephisto. Please, please. It's already been some time. Could have.
Before she follows, Daisy May is going to get a large glass of water from the bar and then follow.
You all eventually do, drinks in hand, those of you who wish, start to head upstairs. Jerome takes you through a side stairwell behind a closed door that wouldn't be publicly accessible. And as you start to head up to looks like you're going to the third story. At the second story landing of this small stairwell, there is a painting. And the painting features around 10 individuals who seem to be standing in one of the streets of Waterdeep. There's a small brass plaque underneath it, engraved with the heroes of the well. Does anyone take any further look at, or do you just keep moving on?
Who is this?
As you step a little bit closer, you see that there is a secondary plaque with much smaller engraving that lists the names of several individuals. Some names you've heard of from this group known as the Inevitables. Some maybe you've forgotten. But there's one name there that seems quite apropos, and that is Murray. The name Murray is one of the 10 included here. And as you notice that the names are placed in line with the individuals in the portrait, you see a fairly old human male standing next to a wood elf woman. This whole group, it's an incredible group of adventurers, look fearsome. The old human maybe a little bit less so. There's also a small child, orc child, here as well. It looks kind of like a found family of sorts. But eventually, you take a look at this and then continue heading upstairs.
Polly is just going to say in passing, "Look at these fancy fucks. Bet they've never seen a day of struggle in their lives." And is just going to drink a...
One second. Could you please repeat that last thing you said, Lauren?
Where at?
Just what you said and what you did. The audio just was weird.
As we're crossing through here, Polly is just gonna say under her breath to anyone listening, really, "Oh, those are a bunch of fancy fucks. They've never seen a day of struggle in their lives." And is just gonna finish swinging her cider and is gonna set the glass on the nearest stair or table.
What kind of team brings a child into a battle?
That's what I'm saying. There's no way to see in battle with a kid there. Nothing but chains.
Seems very irresponsible to any group that brings children into a dangerous situation.
Which one do you think's the mom?
Jerome leads you all up to the 3rd-story landing, down a hall, and to a door where he...
Mr. Mephisto?
Yes, Jerome, come, please, come in.
And Jerome opens the door, does a little bow for you all, lets you inside, and then closes the door behind you, not following along. The room that you find yourselves in is simple in a lot of ways. It's not very heavily decorated. There's a desk, chair behind it, some nice leather chairs and chairs for guests to come in, but it's not covered in rugs and tapestries and smelling of perfume. There is a hearth burning, and there is sitting behind the desk, a very old-looking human man. An older version of the man that you just saw in that painting. He's dressed well but simply. Has a long, scraggly white beard, more unkempt than you might imagine from the owner of such an establishment. Tobacco stains on the white beard around the mouth and the lower lip. Got a relatively full head of, again, long, kind of wild white hair. Think Walt Whitman in his old years, if you want a reference. And as the door shuts behind you,
Oh, you must be the ones who were responding to my letter. You will forgive me if I don't stand up. The toll it takes on my knees is rarely worth it these days, but please, take a seat.
Is there a window in this office room?
yes,
Okay. Daisy May is going to go directly to the window and open up the blinds and just kind of look out.
he looks out as you open the drapes.
It's a beautiful city, isn't it? Despite all of its faults.
That is not a word I would use to describe it, but fair enough.
I've seen this city from the highest points and from its underbelly. There are lots of words to describe it, but that is not why you're here. You're here because I put out a contract for individuals such as yourselves. You look quite capable, yes. Well, I will cut to the chase. I have called you here on a matter of the highest importance. I am having trouble sleeping.
It's okay, darlings. Just give me about 5 minutes with him and all like that. We'll just get you in the tip-top shape.
Auntie, you'll kill him.
I've
He will
tried
have a heart
that.
attack.
Oh. Well, I'm all out of ideas now.
I am willing to pay a large amount from my personal coffers if someone can simply figure out how to rid me of whatever it is that is preventing me from getting any sleep. You never appreciate the sleep until you can't have it.
Have you tried chamomile? It's really, really good for this sort of thing, and I find I need at least 1 glass of tea before bed. Would you like some chamomile tea?
I will certainly take a cup, but my dear, I have tried chamomile, lavender, lemon. I have tried a little bit of coffee before bed. Some people said that it helps them sleep. I've tried warm milk, I've tried essential oils, everything I can damned well think of. But I'm hoping that you might be able to think of something else. But you don't need to have the answer right now.
It gestures out to where the mid-afternoon, 4 p.m. sun can still be seen over the trackless sea.
I won't be trying to get sleep for at least another hour and a half or two. So maybe that'll give you time to come up with ideas, and if you accept this quest, seems a bit of an extreme term, but for me it is. If you accept, simply return to Jerome around bedtime, so maybe 6 p.m., and he will escort you to my personal quarters where you can do whatever it is that you think needs doing. Is that acceptable? All I need to do is sleep through the night, and you are 50,000 gold richer. Even just one night's sleep.
And when he says that, he puts his forehead into his hand, his wrinkled hands just running over and across his eyes, and you can all see he is weary, he is exhausted, sleep deprived to the highest. And at first you might have attributed the dark rings under his eyes simply to age. But with this gesture, you all realize how truly tired he is.
No, I'd really like to help, but this ragtag group more in the action of killing, except for our love here, of course. But we'll do our best. Right?
Yep.
That's all I can ask. I apologize, young woman.
Gesturing to Euphigenia.
Did I interrupt you? I thought I did.
No, love. You could never interrupt me.
Well,
I'm not sure how he took that as an innuendo, but in his old filthy mind, I'm sure he did in some capacity.
well, if you even agree to try, even if you fail, consider the 50 gold credit for each one of you. I thank you for simply trying to help an old man. Well, if there's nothing further, please go make yourselves, continue to make yourselves at home, if that's what you wish. Yes? I didn't catch your name, I apologize.
Oh, my name is Corone.
Jerome?
Corone.
His name is Jerome. No, what's your name?
She's gonna lean in closer to where he can hear better. My name is Corone.
Oh,
Shiki.
apologize, Corone.
Pishi. Yes. How long? It's gonna get there like an old person. Just how long have you been dealing with this?
Started. I mean, I'm old. Sleeping through the night was a far-forgotten memory long ago. When you're my age, you might understand. But this, I would say, probably started a year after the well. But occasional nightmares, that was to be expected, I suppose. But over the past month, sleep has become ever elusive. I don't know if I've had more than an hour or two of solid sleep, even once in the past 30 days. Well,
Oh. Okay.
if there's anything else I can answer, I'm at your service. If not, consider the revel at your service as well. And I will expect you around 5:45, just to be safe. Well, thank you again for even hearing me out. I appreciate it.
And he sees you to the door where Jerome is standing about 15 feet away, and it takes Murray a little bit to shuffle to the door, but as he sticks his head out,
Jerome, you be a good boy and see these four wonderful adventurers back downstairs. Anything they need, you let me know.
Of course, Mr. Mephisto. Follow me, if you will.
and you are returned back downstairs.
Daisy May is just gonna detour because she had a whole hour, so she's gonna detour and just kind of re-enter the room she was once in.
Of course. Is there anything else anyone is doing for the next 90 minutes or so?
I like people watching.
drink. Yeah, another drink. Or
I'm gonna
three.
go find my Goliath friend again. He
Okay.
seemed really nice.
Okay. You all head off, occupy yourselves for the next 90 minutes, and we are going to take a quick break, because we've been going for a little while, and we will pick up with Act 3 of our one-shot as you all head up to Mr. Mephisto's bedchamber. But we will pick up there, friends. Go get something to drink. Go get something to eat, whatever you need. We'll be back here in 7-10 minutes, something like that. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you soon. And we're back. Hello, everybody. Hope you had a nice break. But we're going to jump right back into it. You knock on the door that Jerome has led you all to. And there is some soft shuffling from behind the door, as Jerome has already excused himself back to attend to all of the managerial duties downstairs. And the door creaks open, and you see Murray standing there, dressed in a nightgown style outfit, like a large sleeping shirt that goes down a little past his knobbly knees, and has on a Ebenezer Scrooge style hat. For those of you who don't know that reference, it's one of the little conical sleeping hats that comes over to the side, hangs down around here, got a little puffball at the end of it. His wild hair has been brushed back just a little bit.
Yes, please, come in. I've tried to straighten up. I have a fire going for you all to make yourselves comfortable. I've, excuse me, had Jerome already bring up drinks and food for you all there on the little table there.
And as he walks into the room, you see his bedroom is nicer appointed than his study was. And actually, at this moment, I would love you all to make me a insight check. What'd y'all get?
24.
Hell yeah.
11.
17.
17.
Oh, okay. Those of you, basically everyone except Polly, in this moment, the way someone decorates their space tells you about that person. You've now seen the 2 rooms where Murray Mephisto spends most of his time. And even though this sleeping space is better appointed, it is nowhere near as extravagantly decorated as the public side of Rayona's Revel. And at least one of you can testify that it is not nearly as well appointed as the bedrooms of Rayona's Revel. And that speaks, especially the austere office, it all speaks of someone who did not come from this type of wealth, this peacockery. That said, the bed does look very comfortable. And as Murray settles himself down, his bones popping and protesting every inch, sets himself down, he sinks a little bit into the heavy, feathered mattress.
Did you all come up with any ideas?
And he
Actually,
sounds
I
so
have.
small when he says that, with just this hint of desperation in his voice.
She's gonna walk up to him and sit down at like the foot of his bed like a mother would a child. And she's gonna place her hand on his cap. I think you just need to go to sleep. And she's gonna cast suggestion on him.
There's no need for him to make a save because he's not resisting anything you all are trying.
Yes. I just need to go to sleep. I need so badly to go to sleep.
And he swings one leg up onto the bed, and then using his hand, he lifts his second leg, tucks himself in, pulls the covers over himself.
Maybe tonight is the night then. I hope you all have a good night. I hope that this is an uneventful evening for you all, and you leave here that much richer for doing very little.
Polly pulls the blanket up even more.
Yes.
Thought we were gonna kill him.
Shh, go to sleep, go to sleep. Oh, okay, the end. I mean, that's a really quick fix to this problem. All right.
Be no consequences of that whatsoever at all.
Could you imagine that general solution to just all one-shots? Please help, I can't find my daughter. Slice. Well, guess there's no mother to find the daughter for now. But he gratefully accepts your assistance. And he looks up at the four of you for a second. And who here has a passive perception of above 15?
I have 15.
That counts. Then you are able to make out what he says to himself as he looks around at all of you and settles himself into the blankets and furs.
Just like old times.
And closes his eyes and starts to try to go to sleep. You can still hear the sounds from Rayona's revel from below. Yeah.
What did he mean by uneventful night? We're just supposed to be helping him sleep.
I mean, as long as I maintain concentration, not that it's difficult, this should keep him asleep for the next 8 hours, so I don't know.
Okay.
I got no idea. Maybe. Can't sleep because of all the bar patrons being loud, coming up the stairs drunk, stumbling in here, waking up as well. I heard, I did a seminar the other day. There's a REM cycle. Breaking it up. So, maybe we
makes
just go
sense.
play security.
Corone is going to pop a squat by the fireplace, on her knees and with her sword out in front of her, and just sitting there, watching.
Where does everyone else post up in the room, or what do you all do to get settled in for the night?
Corner, floor.
King chair, anything around?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So, Yuvich and I will go over there and just sit into a rocking chair and just kind of gently rock back and forth.
And Daisy May is going to tuck herself in next to him in the bed.
It's on brand.
Very cute.
Corone's also gonna write a little haiku while they're sitting there as well.
Okay. You all take up your positions, different spots here. And after about 10 minutes or so, you all start to hear starts to fall
Smells
asleep, it
chilly.
seems.
Smells like it was chilly.
That was pretty easy. all things considered. 30 minutes pass. Still softly snoring. After a few more minutes, though, the room starts to grow very cold very quickly.
You shut the door, window. Kind of lolling. Is gonna go and get up and shut the window.
You can see your breath in front of you. The glass, as you shut it, has a little bit of frost that has started to gather in the corners of the window panes. You can hear Murray from in the bed.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
If she notices that he's freezing, she's going to reach out and kind of pull him closer. Just try to use her body heat to warm him up.
You put an arm over him, scooting towards him, and you hear him whimper slightly.
I'm sorry, Leona.
As that is happening, Polly, you have to control yourself not to jump, as half a foot from you, a spectral form emerges from the wall and starts to move slowly towards the bed.
Yuva.
The figure that you all see is dressed in robes that flow and flap in a wind that you all can't see or feel, and is wearing this draconic mask with the hood pulled up and this mask with horns rising up. And then a second from a different wall, dressed the same way, pushes into the room. 2, 3, 4. Do you all do anything as they emerge from the walls and start to converge towards the bed, the temperature dropping further and further, goosebumps up each of your arms? Any fur or heavy fabrics you're wearing have started to collect hoarfrost.
Penny for sure. Penny? Yeah. Polly for sure is going to try to get everyone's attention except for our angel in the bed, and is going to get up very quickly and get in front of them on the bed, standing on the bed with the swords out. State your business. And she's trying to maintain calm, cool, and collection, but is sweating a ton.
Murray has started to writhe in the bed next to you, Daisy.
Daisy,
I'm just going to check if something is concentration or not. 1 second.
Okay.
Cast detect magic.
Okay, it's concentration, so I don't want to interrupt my suggestion. Daisy is going to just kind of hold him a little tighter, try to calm him down a little bit, just with her presence, maybe.
Absolutely. With detect magic, you certainly get some pings from your friends, but these don't immediately set off any of your tendrils that you send out sensing for the arcane. You have experience with specters and ghosts, however, and you know that they don't show up on those magical scans, so to speak. That's not what detect magic looks for. So if these are indeed actual ghosts and not simply illusions, they wouldn't send off any alarm bells. And they don't.
Okay, so they are full on. These are specters, probably, or at least we would think that currently.
As they start to approach the bed, they start to speak in unison, repeating one word. Coward. Coward.
No. Please, not again.
Hey! Corone's voice is a lot deeper now. No, there's a reason. Leave him alone. I'm talking to you. It's not fair. It's a 4v1. Come play with us.
The four have stopped moving, have all turned to face you in deathly silence. And just stare at you. The room continues to drop in temperature. The floorboards underneath your feet are starting to get covered in frost and crack. And again in unison, he must suffer. Coward. Coward.
Why is he a coward?
And again with shakes and spasms from Murray Mephisto in the bed, there is this discordant laughter that pours from each of their throats. He will not even fight us now. You fight for him again. Craven. Coward. And they all refocus their attention and begin to close the distance toward the bed. They are each only about 2 feet away from the bed. Daisy, you have this prone position, seeing as they approach. Murray is sitting there. It's not a seizure, it is the jerky motion of someone having a absolutely spine-chilling nightmare.
Please, not again.
Dude's got some exorcist shit going on.
Daisy's gonna sit up and look each of them in turn. Perhaps maybe we can talk about this. Obviously, you feel that he has run off on you or left you to suffer or something. Maybe all you guys need to do is to relax and talk, possibly.
A fifth figure emerges from behind the bed and passes through the headboard, so is partially just the upper half of the torso, again, dressed the same way, right above Murray. And as the five converge, each one of them places their palm forward, fingers spread wide, in the symbol of the five-headed dragon queen. And from Murray to their hand, this nigh invisible stream of some type of energy begins to be pulled from him and into them.
No. Stop touching him. He did not say it was okay. She's going to... If she was to reach out and try to touch whatever that energy is, would she be able to touch it?
You can try.
Slice it.
Yeah, she's gonna reach
I'll
out.
answer your question in terms of distance, yes. In terms of whether you can, you'll have to try.
Okay, she's gonna try to run her hand along one of the lines.
Oh, just one
Just
of
almost
the...
pluck it.
Oh.
How it's connected by energy.
You reach and touch that, and you take 1 necrotic damage as the finger where you touched it, withers slightly. But because of your elven heritage, it restores.
Okay. She... 1 second. She's going to, after pulling back, she's gonna almost imagine plucking the string of a lute. And she's going to cast Shatter. About exactly 10 feet above where she's sitting. So it should hit those around her, but not her or the old man.
Then that means we need to roll initiative, kids. So, we need to go ahead and get that old initiative tracker out. Everyone, please roll, even if you're not currently engaging in combat. That is just to see when you act. Okay. Did anyone beat a 20? Anyone beat a 15?
Yes.
1 second. Sorry.
No problem. Polly and Euphigenia, what'd you get?
17.
I got 19.
19 for Daisy. Euphigenia?
24, love.
Oh! You did beat 20. And then, Corone, what'd you get?
I got a 12, because I'm a fighter.
What's your dexterity bonus, because you're tied?
+2.
Yep. Hey, you beat him.
Yay! Yay! God, yay!
Well, that means we have all of our PCs going in a chunk, and all of our NPCs going in a chunk. Euphigenia, you watch as Daisy retracts her finger and looks at it, and then in response begins to say the incantation to begin to cast a spell. What do you do?
She's going to reach out her staff and she is going to lean it as close as she can get to the spectral. I'm assuming that we're pretty well close to these spectral.
Oh,
figures.
absolutely. This room is not so large that you can't get anywhere you want.
Yeah. She's just going to lean into the staff and just everyone else hears is just just sounds very Gymish, but the top of her staff animates into the head of a snake and lashes out and tries to bite the apparition.
Okay, biting the one nearest you, or the one over, directly over Mephisto's head? Which would you go for?
Biting the one nearest.
Got it, let's do it.
Let's see. Okay, so just new one for me.
Yep, absolutely.
That's a 19 on the attack.
That will absolutely hit.
So it takes 1d6 piercing damage. And it must succeed on a DC 15 Constitution saving throw.
Okay, is this magical damage? Just so I know.
It will be poison damage, but it is from a magic item.
Okay. Well, the piercing damage I was talking about. Is that magical piercing damage? Like, is it a magic weapon?
It is a magic weapon.
Oh,
yes.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. The Constitution save was 19.
Okay. So I don't think I don't think it takes any additional damage on the Constitution.
Okay, so what was the piercing damage? You said 3?
3.
Okay. As you do this, a good chunk of the ethereal existence of this thing withers away. Anything else?
Very good, Buttercup. Very good, my little love.
That'll bring Daisy up with Polly on deck.
Okay, so do I still cast Shatter?
Yeah, if you want to cast Shatter right now, you absolutely can.
Alrighty, then each creature within this 10-foot square or circle.
Is it 10-foot radius?
10 foot. Yeah, radius.
Oh,
sphere.
so 20 feet across, which means you can get all of them because of the way they are situated around this bed. So what save do they have to make?
They have to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yes, okay. They have a +0 on this.
Such a good spell.
DC 14.
1 success. 1 fail. 2 fail. 3 fail. 2 success, 3 fail. Oof.
All right. That means on a success, they take half points. On a fail, they take a full 3d8 thunder damage. So I'm going to roll that quick.
Okay, let's do it.
Alrighty, they take 13 points of thunder damage.
13 is the full damage?
13 is the full damage, yeah.
Okay, so 7 for those. Okay, so here's what that means. This insanely loud noise goes off, and all 5 of them disappear. And Murray, because that was insanely loud, shoots awake.
What is happening here?
Right, sorry about that. It's all safe now. Go back to sleep. It's okay.
And he's breathing very fast, his heart clearly racing, and it takes him a minute to settle himself. And then after about 2 minutes or so, you can feel his breathing start to slow once more.
So I guess we should try to stay more quiet next time, but maybe these come for him every night? Perhaps we just hold them off.
We'll get rid of them.
Also, I apologize for the airplane noises.
Oh, your shatter always makes that noise when you use that spell. We're used to it.
So as Murray starts to try to settle back into sleep, what do you all do this time? Do you settle anywhere different? Or do anything different?
Daisy is not going to lie back down, but she's just going to sit cross-legged on the bed and just keep an eye out.
Corone will be at the ready as soon as one pops up. She's swinging at it, just in the area where it was the last time.
Polly is under the bed, knives out, ready to push herself off the wall and shoot out into the room.
Under the bed, you do notice there are several empty bottles of very high-quality liquor. As it seems, Murray had tried to self-medicate to sleep. About 10 minutes pass. 15. $30 minutes. About an hour passes. Has anyone been tending to the fire? Otherwise, it starts to die down at this point.
Is it? Well, no. No, she wouldn't.
About an hour after Murray Mephisto started to snore, again, those of you against the wall notice something, but it is not what you were prepared for. From the corner where the wall and the floor meet begins to seep into the room, all at the same time, all around the room, slowly, this black smoke. Hold on one sec. My audio was doing weird things.
Okay, so I wasn't the only one.
Nope,
Okay.
wasn't you. This black smoke begins to slowly creep across the floorboards. Again, moving towards the bed. But everywhere that the smoke passes, it isn't just on the floor, even though the smoke is only about that much. A wall of darkness follows behind, so after the smoke has pushed out from the wall, you all can't see the walls anymore. And this wall of black smoke and dark begins to close towards the center of the room. And before you know it, everything is darkness. Everything is gone, other than the four of you and the bed and Murray.
This is odd, but Daisy is going to kind of move over, so she's almost sitting, like leaning above or over top of the old man, making sure she's got like one hand on him so she can tell that he's still there.
Auntie, can you make this go away?
She tries to cast light on the staff. Is that, I'm assuming, does not dissipate any of the darkness?
It doesn't get rid of the darkness. It does make the area right around you psychologically feel a little safer, as there is just this orb of bright and then dim light that surrounds you, just providing this feeling of safety in that space, whether justified or unjustified. And as you cast that is when all of you notice a spectral shape right next to the bed, on the kneeling on the ground next to the bed. Head buried in the blankets, shoulders racked with sobs. And it looks like Murray. And you can hear him saying to himself,
I'm sorry. I was not brave enough to go with you. You must come home safe. Please come home safe.
Another spectral shape walks through the wall, this one not dressed in robes and mask, but a slightly familiar visage to two of you, a wood elf that the plaque underneath in the painting identified as Rayona, the namesake of this tavern. And she approaches where the spectral Murray is kneeling. You abandoned us, Murray. You let us go fight. We might have died. And what did you risk? I looked up to you. I trusted you.
I know, Fiona. I'm sorry. I told you I was no hero.
You were right. I just didn't know how right you were. And she turns and strides off, walking straight through the wall, disappearing, leaving the spectral Murray racked with grief, and the real Murray softly crying in his sleep.
In my position of, if I reached out, could I touch the sobbing Murray?
Absolutely. Are you talking about the spectral or sleeping?
The spectral.
You are certainly close enough to do so.
She's gonna just touch the shoulder, like attempt to touch the shoulder of the sobbing spectral.
If you press too hard, your hand just passes through.
But I can feel like a slight change.
Just slightly. As if you were touching a very, very dense, heavy cloud of fog, how you can feel that little bit of temperature and moisture change on your skin.
Okay, then she's gonna place her hand and stop the second she can tell the difference, and she's gonna cast Calm Emotion on this specter.
Yeah. This specter is going to make the saving throw, though. Because the specter doesn't know you. What's the save? Never mind.
14.
Roll to 4. Doesn't matter. So the sobbing quiets. The breathing slows.
It's also in the 20-foot radius of everyone in the room.
And you watch as the sleeping Murray also seems to still for a moment. And just about 20 seconds or 30 seconds after you do that is when you all hear as much as you feel. This low, rumbling sound. And from a short distance away, here in this black, a rift begins to open. Somehow darker, blacker than this pure black void. You don't understand how, but it is. It begins to stretch larger and larger. Huge. 40 feet across. Taking up most of, if there were still a wall, taking up all of it. I have returned for you, Murray. an enormous dragon claw starts to reach from the void and grab onto the edge of the tear as if it were solid. And then on the opposite side, a second. These two claws 40 feet apart. And then, coming into view slowly through the rift, your eyes don't want to believe what you're seeing, but they are. A 5-headed spectral dragon. The heads snaking forward through the portal, one with a horn that rises up 15 feet, another with frills and these spiked frills that flare back as a spectral version of the Dragon Queen herself, Tiamat, begins to push its way into this void. And I need you all to roll initiative one more time, please. I just saw a Mav mouth. I'm sorry, what? Exactly the kind of reaction I go for. Let me get a few things situated over here tech-wise, and then I will take all of your initiatives. How you doing, y'all? You ready?
The fuck?
You ready to fight a spectral Tiamat? I'm ready to fight a spectral Tiamat. I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready. All right. Let's hear those numbers. Anyone beat
18?
a 20? Okay, there's an 18 for Corone. You can shout them out. There are 4 of you.
14.
7.
7 for Polly. And what was that, Euphigenia? 17?
13.
13.
The luckiest of numbers.
All right, time to roll for this thing. All right.
27.
20.
Yeah.
Not nat, but 20. Okay, that seems very fitting to me. Before we jump in to the initiative order, I do want to give you all a second for narration here. These heads snake forward, huge claws, and each of these clawed hands easily big enough to hold all 4 of you, with room to spare. What do we see from the 4 of you in response to this? I'm going to start with you, Corone.
Corone realizes that this is a very, very serious threat that she did not get signed up for. Thought it was a super easy job, but she is honor bound. Because yes, people, you can make an honor bound fighter and not have to have a paladin. And at this point in time, what you didn't get to see is that when she killed the kobold, she only used one hand on her sword. And at this point in time, she takes her sword out and places 2 hands and realizes this is it, and this thing has to die. And she will take a very strong stance.
Polly.
2 short swords in hand on her belly under the bed when she sees the spectral Murray come and weep at the bed's edge, and then she slinks further against the wall as she hears the growling in this darkness, and she hears the tear in reality as a claw is visible from underneath the bed, and she slinks closer and closer and closer to the wall and takes a big deep breath, both short swords in hand, and remembers that even if she's afraid, her friends aren't going to back down. So she pushes as hard as she can, flips her body over to where she is on her back, and comes out from underneath the bed with both swords drawn and ready to, the Power Rangers get up off the ground like that.
Skip up.
Yep.
Daisy.
Daisy is going to fumble in her pocket for a second, pull out the joint that she'd half smoked earlier that day, kind of turn it around in her fingers a little bit, looking incredibly like, what the fuck was in this? And after a moment, she's going to draw her little rapier and kind of like squat on the bed just over him once again in like kind of a protective stance in a way.
And Miss Doubtfire.
Euphigenia will stand up. She'll kind of wiggle her staff and get the snake to come back into the staff, essentially. And she'll stand up, all prim and proper, and kind of do one of these things, and just pull on the cardigan for just a second, and she'll look at it and go, "Darling, it is going to be one of those days now, isn't it? Fine, fine. Chin up, tits out, and watch for the shoe, bitch."
For that, take an extra luck point before this session, or before this fight. All right.
Yes!
Top of the order. I am going to give you all a piece of information here for the purposes of theater of the mind. This whole space is about 60 by 60 feet. Even though it is visually endless, you are never able to move more than 60 feet from the portal itself. Just so you know, for purposes of planning distances. But, I have to... Could someone roll me a d6? That way it's not my fault.
Okay, I'll do it.
2.
Oh,
No,
we got a
never
2.
mind.
We got a 2.
No.
Okay. This whole thing is slightly spectral, but there are still tints of color on the dragon heads: green, black, blue, white, and red. The one that is whiter in tone opens its mouth, and there is just this immediate wave of cold that pours from its mouth. And as it inhales, I need each one of you at this point to make me Constitution saving throws, please. Except for Daisy, because of where you were on the bed.
Take that. Ms. Doubtfire got an 18.
Ooh, very nice.
6 and 26. Oh, God! I'm so scared. I'm so scared now.
Good. You're scared now? Wait
13.
30 seconds. Okay.
Wait till phase 2.
Just wait till
this
damage.
Elden Ring fight.
So those who failed, which is Polly, that is going to be 40 cold damage.
Can I dodge this?
You
I
are a
have
rogue!
dodge? Yeah, I'm gonna go do that.
So, because you are a rogue, you use your reaction to use Uncanny Dodge, which is, I think it's a reaction, or can you just do
You
it?
have it.
You
Yep.
just have it? Well, I was
it's
asking, is there a reaction? For some reason, I'm spacing.
When an attacker sees you can use your reaction. Yeah.
Yep, reaction. So you use your reaction to have the damage, so all three of you take 20 cold damage. That is its first turn, bringing up Corone with Daisy on deck, as this wave of cold washes over each one of you, not quite getting to where Daisy and Murray are, but the other three of you, it rises up your legs. You can feel the cold in your veins, like a physical object passing through you, up your legs, into your torso. Corone, you're up.
Cool. We're gonna lunge at this bitch and take our first strike two-handed on the longsword.
Let's do it.
13 plus 8.
That will hit.
Cool, sweet. And then 8 plus 5 is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 13. 13 damage. 8 plus 5 is 13.
13 damage. What was this with?
A magical longsword. A longsword plus 1.
Okay.
That's my first attack.
All right.
Second attack. $18.
18 will meet to beat.
Okay. Oh shit. All right. And then that is 9 points of damage.
9 more points. Slash, slash. Pretty. Are you going for one? Are you attacking one of the
Nope.
heads and necks?
Head, the one that spit fucking ice at me. First off, that gets the most of it.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna hit another one too.
Okay.
Just to prove a point.
All right. Then that will bring up Daisy with Euphigenia
Wait,
on.
does each head have all hit points?
I don't know. That'll bring up Daisy with Euphigenia on deck.
God.
The GM over there loving that response. Oh no! Don't ask me.
Alrighty. So Daisy is going to, after realizing and noticing the fact that she was more safe on this bed, she's going to stay in her position there, and she's going to put her longsword away and pull out her just small little lute. And she's going to pick a couple strings before she casts Cure Wounds on her lovely little friend. I can't remember any names at all this session. She's going to heal Lauren's character. I can't remember your name. I'm sorry.
Polly.
Polly.
Polly
Punch it.
Polly Punch it. She's going to heal you with a Cure Wounds. Just 2d8 plus 3.
Thank you.
What's up, Corone?
So, alright, I'm dumb because I still haven't used the fighter before, but I put something cool on it. I have Slasher. So, once per turn, when you hit a creature with an attack that deals slashing damage, you can reduce the speed of the target by 10 feet.
Cool.
Until the start of your next turn. So I'm going to activate that when I hit them on...
Yeah, no problem.
the one.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. On the ice one, because I have to choose once per turn. So
I mean,
choosing on the
it's
ice
one creature.
Okay, cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
never fought Tiamat. I don't know what I'm
One
doing.
creature, 5 dragon heads.
All right.
One set of legs, one set of wings. Terrifying.
But it's the tail you got to worry about.
Oh, yeah. Luckily, no sign of the tail. Yet.
All right, so that was 9 points of healing. Poppy.
Thank
Polly. Sorry.
Floppy, floppy.
you. Answered anything?
Love that. All right, and that's going to be her turn.
All right. Euphigenia and Polyus on deck.
Euphigenia is going to... You have been a very bad girl, and just kind of shake it all off. And then she's going to quietly reach into her cardigan, and she's just going to pull out a revolver and go, "That's right, Grandma's got a gun, motherfucker!" And she's gonna fire.
Yes!
It's a nat fucking 20.
Let's go! And we're using crunchy crits here, so automatically max the first die.
Let's see. So we got.
She got that for one of her boy toys.
So we'll add 15 points of damage.
Is that magical?
It's magical.
Okay. 15. All right. Noted. 15 points as a gunshot rings out and pierces into the spectral neck of the black dragon head, and it creates this ripple in it, which then is quickly reformed. Anything else?
That's it for you, Virginia.
All right, then Polly is on deck, or Polly is up.
Polly, after seeing everything that's going on, and she was ready to go. She knew she was going into this. She sees this head and forgets what she's doing for a second. And anyone with any sort of high passive perception would see her kind of stumble back and then rush forward. And she is going to take a gutting attack with her short sword.
Okay.
And may I do this with sneak attack damage?
If you hit, you will qualify for sneak attack, yes.
Yes. It's a sad week to be me. That's an 8.
First attack will miss.
I only have 1 attack.
No, you do not.
Attacks per action. 1.
2-weapon fighting.
2-weapon fighting! Yes! Okay.
Sent to you with all the love from your husband.
I am going to give a luck point to make that a 15.
15 will miss.
Motherfuck me, man. Okay, cool.
As you come in and you are scraping and scratching along this spectral 5-headed dragon, and you're impacting, it's just not able to do a lot.
I am small.
So, that will bring us to the top of the order. I have to roll a d6 to see if the breath recharges. Okay. In that case, since it didn't recharge... Yeah. Corone, could you please make me a charisma saving throw?
$15.
Serve your queen.
And you've been fighting for the wrong side. Your plan to return Tiamat to this plane has finally succeeded. And here she stands with these 3 ingrates trying to prevent her return. That can't be allowed. But first it's her initiative, because that was a legendary action. Let me check again, see if this recharges. Still did not recharge. So in that case, she has her claw attacks. This is coming 1 at each of the 2 who are close. So that is going to be Polly and Euphigenia. I rolled a 2 on both dice.
Oh.
So I don't think either one of you will get hit with those swipes. And because those were so low, Euphigenia and then Polly, could you tell me how you avoid these attacks?
Polly's easy.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I was waiting for the woman. But Polly's easy. She's very quick. She's very small, and she doesn't trust anything in her environment. So she is perpetually trauma perceptive. So very quickly gets out of the way.
And there's just this huge claw, and you manage to roll and dodge it. What about you, Euphigenia?
She'll use her wings and just float up right above it, and then kind of come back down. And as she looks back at it, she goes, "Easy there, short shit. You're not the first dragon I've taken out even this week."
Then she has 1 more attack, and this is going to be random between the 2 of you. This is a bite with one of her heads. This is coming at Euphigenia then. Let's see. Dirty 20?
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, I'm a wizard, so...
Oh,
you know.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no. That was max on... Minimum on one of the dice, max on the other 2. So that is going to be 21 necrotic damage.
That is enough to go down.
The reddish tint head comes in and snaps shut around Euphigenia, and when it releases, she collapses to the ground. You are still conscious, but you are bleeding out. Speaking is difficult. You can still take basic actions if you want, but it will be at the cost of some failed death saving throws, just so you know for when it gets to your turn. That is the end of her turn. Corone.
Since Corone is in front of everybody and they've watched her slash and like take some type of damage and whatnot, you see Corone's arms lower and put the sword to her side, and with the most menacing of face turn around and look at her friend and take up the sword towards them. Can you roll for me? Can you roll for me, please?
Who are you attacking?
To attack. I roll randomly. I can't.
Oh,
roll.
okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would be Daisy with a 3.
Cool. Corone is just gonna. I look at Polly and then slide over to Daisy, two-handed. Please, God. Okay. 8 and 8 is 16.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
Max damage on the die. That's 15 damage.
Okay.
And Lasher will drop your speed to 10. That's the first attack. 9, 10, 11. 11 hits.
No, sorry, 11 misses. Okay.
Oh, thank God. I was like, oh God, thank you, please, God.
Dance. Dance for your queen.
Alrighty.
You should have listened to my sword stories.
I mean, Corone, I've been trying to teach you that violence is not the option. Please, I know you were still upset about me shutting you down a couple nights ago, but it was like 3 a.m, and there's only so long you can hear about forging swords. I'm sorry. If this is about that, I told you we would talk about it.
Corone, could you please make me another charisma saving throw to try to break this possession? Nope. Okay. Still in it. Whew. With a nat 1, definitely still in it. So right now, Euphigenia, you are the one who sees this first, even from where you are on the ground in this blackness, bleeding, as another spectral humanoid appears near you, to your left, and then one to your right. The first one, a large, muscular, looks like maybe a genasi. The one on the right, wearing robes with horns. Then another that looks like a satyr. Another that looks like a dragonborn, and you soon realize that these figures that are appearing all around you are the members of the Inevitables that you saw in that painting. And they are taking defensive positions. And the satyr turns towards where the spectral Murray is still kneeling, now cowering. You left us, Murray! Everything that happens now is because of your cowardice! The large genasi I wish I had never found you that night. Should have let you rot in the alley.
I'm sorry, friends. I'm not a hero. I told you I'm not a hero. You're the hero's not me.
This is killing me.
I wasn't part of the story. This shit hurts.
Daisy, you are up.
How far from the bed did the lovely Miss Doubtfire fall?
15 feet?
Okay, even with half speed, I can make it that way. She's going to attempt to kind of push past Corone, accepting the attack, and to fall to her knees and cast Cure Wounds at 3rd level. Unless you have Sentinel Mav, I will just take the attack.
I don't have Sentinel, but you attack of opportunity, but go let her do that. I'm gonna let her do that.
Okay, so that is 18 points of healing.
Cool. 18 to hit.
Well,
Yeah, that will hit.
this is important
Okay.
to see if this takes Daisy down before the healing.
9 points of damage for the first attack.
Well, that's the only attack with attack of
She's-
opportunity.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
So you, Daisy, accept this. You've been in enough combats to know exactly what's going to happen. You've been in enough combats with Corone at your side to know exactly what's going to happen. And it does. As you step to the side, you feel as your back grows warm and wet. And then the pain hits from the slice in your back. But you manage to get to Euphigenia, drop to your knees, close magically some of her wounds. You're able to breathe easier, Euphigenia. Now the two of you are next to these 7 members, spectral members of this adventuring party, who all have started to say in their own accents and voices, "Coward. Coward. Coward."
I've never played Bard, but Bardic Inspiration is a bonus action, right?
Yes, it is.
She's going to, as she lifts her lovely friend up, she's going to whisper in her ears, It's love and peace, darling. It's love and peace." And I'm going to give you a Bardic Inspiration.
And at level 7, is that a D8 now, or still a D6?
I will double check. I'm fairly certain it's a D8.
Cool, let me know. In the meantime, that will bring you up, Euphigenia.
Yeah, it's a D8.
Dispel magic to get our lovely little. Let's just cast Dispel magic.
Corone, the worst part about what just happened is that you were totally aware for all of it, but unable to stop yourself. Now you are. Because because of this ability and what it is, there's no need to even roll for Dispel Magic. It is gone.
Are you okay?
I've been better, love, but I'm no therapist or anything like that. That's usually not the way I like to go, but seems like our little lad here has some a guilt that he's going to work through.
Daisy, are you? I'm so sorry.
It's fine. You're back with us now. We will talk about this later.
Can everyone just please stop trying to die? Be great.
Working on it. Yeah, and he's gonna turn back to the dragon and be like, "Listen, the whole thing with the specter and playing on the guilt and everything like that, like, just it's so last year, love. Like, just maybe just give it up. He did his best. He told them he was no hero. Like, just, let the man live. He already has to live with the guilt of his friends.
Could you just roll me... Because you're speaking to the spectral Tiamat in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Could you just roll me a luck check? So 2d20s. Let me know which one is further from 10.
I just jumped into the thing. One I've got a 19 and one I've got an 8.
19 it is. As you shout this defiantly towards Tiamat, she responds to you.
I am but his own creation. I give him what he wants, what he knows he deserves. Coward.
Coward, the chant again rising from the 7 here. Was there anything further?
No, that's my action for the time.
I mean, that would be a free... I would consider that a free pause in the initiative, and you could still have an action.
Girl, you got a lot of fucking spells. Excuse them motherfuckers.
Uvichanaya wants to cast Charm Person on a boy.
On whom?
On old Morrissey over there.
Well, Murray is in no state really to resist. So you cast Charm Person. I assume on the real Murray?
On the real Murray, yes.
Okay. And as you feel the link take effect, we'll have to see what you do with that next time because you've already done your talking. But you can feel that the link takes effect, and we move to Polly.
Okay. How far am I away from the anything?
Well, last I heard, you were up slicing and dicing.
I would like to, it went poorly, and she is going to grumble to her tiny little self and go for it again. She's seeing everything happen in this room. She knows there's nothing. She could hardly comprehend that this is even going on. In all of her travel, she's never seen the wall become time and space outside of what she knows it to be. So she's trying to collect herself as much as she can, and all she knows to do is one sword in front of the other, and she's gonna go for hacking at this thing.
All right, let's do it.
For the love of God! 10.
10 will miss, so that's your first attack.
15, but with a luck point, I got a 16.
You would need a total of 3 luck points. So if you
I
poured, you
I
have
don't
2 remaining if memory serves.
I do, yeah.
Which means if someone else wanted to use 2 of their luck points to boost yours 1 more, you would hit and get sneak attack.
I think it would probably be smart to just reserve them just in case we go down any more than that.
Okay.
So
I respect that.
She is going to, after missing again, she's going to start gritting her teeth to the point where her cheek starts to bleed and she starts to cry, and she grips her swords even harder and kind of sinks down really low. Bonus action, hide if I can.
go ahead and roll me that stealth check, but as you do this, there's nothing really to hide behind other than the bed.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
So do you hide behind, you run away from Tiamat and hide behind the bed, or do you just try to hunker down where you are?
Just gonna try to hunker down to the... She just needs a moment to collect her breath and build that confidence back up in her body.
You kind of just tuck behind, or you just kind of crouch down, try to be out of the way. And there's a bit of a surreal moment that you have, Polly. You... Hold on one sec. I gotta get the right vibe here for just this quick moment. It's important. Okay. You crouch. Everything disappears for a second. The dragon heads, your friends, the spectral inevitables, the bed. You are hidden, unseen. And then you just hear, right next to you,
I thought I would find you here.
you look over your shoulder and you see Murray, slightly younger, about how the age that he looked in the portrait.
This is where I've always spent my life. Hiding.
I'm scared.
Maybe if we just stay here and don't fight, let the others fight, we'll be safe. They can handle it. We're not heroes. We live in the shadows. That's where we belong. Not out there, not the front lines. Not us.
If we don't go, if we don't step out of the darkness, we'll die here, alone. At least in the light, we won't be alone.
Is it better to live alone or die with someone?
What is living? And she brings her head up from her knees and looks around, and her eyes are slightly panicked, and she's got tears. What is living? If it's twinged with the regret of standing still. We have to share it with ourselves and with everyone we meet. And she's going to bolster herself slightly to stand.
And you stand back up.
And she's going to reach her hand out to Spectral. Is this Spectral Murray, or is it in my mind?
As you stand up, you find yourself once again in this black space with your friends, with the ghostly Tiamat, with there is no Murray next to you anymore.
And she clocks everyone in the room after having this darkness, after feeling alone. Never alone. And she's going to turn to face Tiamat.
And it's then that a few of you here closer to you, others farther, as we get to the end of the initiative order, and one person who has yet to act. As Murray stands, the spectral Murray stands.
Never alone.
And he marches forward towards the line where the inevitables stand, towards where a few of you still stand and fight against this ghostly god.
I was a coward that day. I've been a coward for 78 years. I'm done with that. If I die now, let me die. No more regrets. Not alone.
And he pulls from his hip, the spectral version, a small hand crossbow. It's so small compared to this god. And he raises it, shaking. And he casts one final glance towards Rayona.
I'm sorry I didn't do it right then.
And he looses. The arrow passes through one of the heads of this ghostly Tiamat, and it all... the entire form disappears. The ghostly figures of the inevitables converge upon the spectral Murray, and he looks at them.
I'm sorry I was not there with you, my friend. I was afraid. I always have been afraid.
And one of them, the Dragonborn, looks to Murray. We are always afraid. That is the only time we can be brave. You hear a sound. An unexpected sound at this point. Let me pull it up because I have it right here and I have to do it. There we go. It's worth it. Just hear an unexpected sound of birds. Morning birds. And the darkness that was all around you starts to fade as streams of sunlight pour in through windows. The noise of city life outside. The calling and hawking of merchants. The clacking of wooden wheels across cobblestones. Laughter. It's morning. And Murray still snores soundly in his bed. Is there anything you all do in this moment?
I think Daisy will rush to the bed where Murray is sleeping and take his pulse and see if he's, still doing okay.
He's a little clammy, but pulse is normal, breath is normal. His eyes are moving back and forth, not in frantic motions, but peaceful ones.
He just took her. Sorry, that was somebody else. Hold on. Oh, he's gone and tuckered himself out.
It's like it, yeah. Does this mean we did it?
Yeah, but don't wake him. Let's sneak out. Give him a little more time. And she's gonna move towards the door and motion for others to follow her.
Corona's gonna get off the bed silently and not really saying much. Yeah.
as you all start to make your way towards the door quietly, you just hear a Murray lifts up and rubs sleep out of his eyes.
I'll be damned. It's the first time I've woken up to the sounds of morning in a long time. Did I miss anything?
And that's where we will close this story of troubled dreams. Thank you all for playing and telling this story with me. I appreciate it so much. And thank you all who were here on the stream watching as we did it live or listening later on Go Buff Yourself. We appreciate you so very much. So, before we say goodbye, first of all, please don't go anywhere. If you're still hanging around, we want to be able to raid someone so that we can share the love. But I want to go around, say goodbye to our wonderful players. We're going to start with the no-hit wonder of Lauren.
Hey guys, great to be here. Great to be a fly on the wall for all this badassery that my friends were doing here.
Wait a minute. You essentially did, for what it's worth, about 100 damage that turn, because that's about how many hit points this thing had left.
You know what?
Therapy.
Through the power of positive talk, positive self-talk, we got there. I've been Lauren, the bearer of bad dice, and thank you for spending your evening with me. Don't forget to hydrate.
Mav.
Hey, y'all. This is my first time playing a fighter. I forgot about the charisma save. I did more dares to my friends than I did the goddamn dragon. But hey, everybody, I'm Mav, your favorite black guy on the internet. It was fun playing Corone. There's a lot of therapy now with the money that we got. We can afford Corone therapy now because we're going to need it. And I'm happy to play this game and play with these lovely people. And thanks, Ethan, for showing us a bit of your other world and other games and letting us into this story because it sounded wonderful.
Well, I do hope that even without having played in that campaign, the story was still enjoyable to go through. Because that's part of what my design with this one-shot is, that it should be able to be incorporated into anyone's world, but if there isn't pre-existing world, it can just be generic heroes of old who have this experience. So I thank you for helping to continue this story. I appreciate it, friend.
Yeah, and I'm happy to be here. Okay.
Matty.
Hi, I'm Matty. I like to play D&D, and this was really, really fun. Thank you, Ethan, for bringing us his world, and yeah, that was a lot of fun. Thanks, Matt, for attacking me. Better luck next time. You'll kill me next time.
I could have killed you.
I could have killed you fucking dead, man. Mallo.
Thank you all for joining us tonight. That was a lot of fun. We've had a lot of fun on this channel between Daggerheart and this, and maybe teasing some more one-shots that are coming up, maybe. Ooh.
I'm hoping to bring this whole crew that has been playing Daggerheart, so that is this crew plus our buddy Aaron, who is in Idaho or some boring place
How dare he live his
that isn't
life.
playing
Right?
the D&D right now. But
Outrage.
this whole crew will, first of all, the plan... Oh, I'm sorry. Let me say that after you finish your goodbyes, Mallo. I got on that track. I'm so sorry. Where can we
Follow
find...
everybody. Follow everybody here. You can follow me at Identico or at the Mallow Man. You can just come and check us all out, because everybody on this stream is on everybody other stream, because we're trying to, spread the TTRPG love. And little plug for this Tuesday, might have a new stream for Identico featuring our boy Mav there.
Ooh!
TV.
New prequel arc. We love that.
So definitely
Yeah.
go check out Identico. It's a great game and it's a great stream. And like I was saying, the Daggerheart crew, after doing a third Daggerheart playtest session, we're then going to start moving on for a little while to another system that I have been anxious to try out, which is Heart, the City Beneath. If you liked tonight's story with its emotional damage, if you like flawed characters who do bad things in a bad world, this is going to be a game for you. It is not happy-go-lucky, but that is something we have coming up in the future. We have recently put out new episodes of The Wild Beyond and City of the Crimson Tower on Go Buff Yourself, so please go check that out. My name is Ethan. I've been your GM. We're going to be rating someone here in just a second, but until we see you next time, go follow these talented individuals. Do something good for yourself, like hydrate or walk outside if it's not 1,000,000 degrees. And until we see you next time, friends, thank you for being here and go buff yourself. See you around.